This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome, everyone, to DBL. It's Tuesday, September 15th. I'm Tori here. My brother Jeff.
What's up?
What's up? Lindsay joins us from home. Lindsay, how are you? Oh, wow. She is classic preppy and looking good. How are you?
Thanks, Tori. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, man,
Good.
she looks adorable. All right. We're getting right to the news because there is so much coming out, and we want to get to this and find out what you think, the DBL Nation. We're following the search for the person who shot 2 LA County Sheriff deputies over the weekend. We're also learning new details about one of the deputies involved, a rookie cop, a mother of one named Claudia Apolliner. She is a former librarian who just graduated from the police academy last year. Never knock a librarian. There's new video from the scene and a warning to our viewers, it is graphic. The video shows Apolliner rushing to save her partner after she was reportedly shot in the jaw and torso. Her partner had also been shot. She applied a tourniquet while calling for help. Now they're both expected to survive. Right now there's a $175,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the shooter who ambushed the deputies sitting in their patrol car. Meantime, LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva challenged LeBron James to match and double the reward money, saying, quote, "We need to appreciate that respect for life goes across all professions." I will remind people Black Lives Matter is not a profession, it's an identity. Jeff, how do you feel about this situation? First of all, I'm so glad they're going to be okay.
Yeah, there is a lot to unpack here, Tori, right? As far as the police officer calling out LeBron James, I don't agree with that. LeBron could do whatever he wants with his money and support whatever he wants to support. Of course, I hope he does support the police, maybe not financially, but I think everybody should support the police. Listen, Tori, I understand this is very controversial, what we're going through right now, but I'm glad we're having the conversation. It seems like nobody wants to talk about these stories, and a lot of crimes are going untold, even through media outlets. So I applaud our show for talking about this. There should be outrage that 2 police officers were just sitting there and being shot, just like there should be outrage when someone's kneeling on a man's neck for almost 9 minutes. I agree with both sides, but we have to not condone this kind of behavior. There should be no rhetoric online supporting this kind of behavior, just like there should be no rhetoric online supporting that you don't support Black Lives Matter, if you see what I'm saying right there, right? It should be equal, even though I understand one's a job and one is a person's, race.
Yeah, exactly. Write us in what you guys are thinking. It's a hard video to see. Again, one is Black Lives Matter, one is a profession, and we want to make that clear. But it is also that anyone who says these police officers, they wish they should die, that's what some of this rhetoric is absolutely obscene and outrageous. Moving on, the city of Louisville is settling a wrongful death lawsuit brought by the family of Breonna Taylor. Now, details of the settlement are expected to be announced later today, but it reportedly includes a substantial multi-million-dollar amount as well as more police reforms. The family sued the city after police officers broke down the door to her apartment and fatally shot Breonna while she was sleeping during a late-night no-knock raid. None of the 3 officers involved have been charged, but a grand jury for a criminal court is now investigating. What do you feel about this, Lindsay? It's been 6 months more?
Right. It's been 6 months since Breonna Taylor was killed, and everybody has to understand what a civil suit is. So even if they have a settlement, that's great. And the family does definitely deserve some reprieve for what happened to their daughter and their family member. But at the same time, people want justice. And I think justice in this case looks like letting the public know what the timeline is for figuring out when you're going to press charges or not. We're waiting, and we know exactly who the killer is of Breonna Taylor, even though just the last story we did, we're offering hundreds of thousands of dollars, asking LeBron to match it when we don't know who that person is. So we know who killed Breonna, and we're offering nothing, but we are asking for hundreds of thousands of dollars to find out who killed the cops. Like, it should be the same justice on both sides. A young woman lost her life who didn't do anything, and that city has now put in place Breonna's law and said, hey, we're going to put in a law for Breonna Taylor and say that we think no-knock warrants are not okay, but we're still not going to provide her family any justice. And so a settlement is a step, but they still need to do much more.
I totally agree. Jeff, you're nodding your head. What do you think?
Well, Tori, I kind of want to go to you on this, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. And I go to you for legal questions. And listen, we're honest on this show. Do you think that these police officers will be convicted in court, even though they had their warrant, they had what they needed? Do you believe you'll see any convictions or anyone being
charged even?
Charged,
we don't even know if they'll be charged.
It is.
Let's
right.
start there, right?
Yeah, let's start. That's what I'm saying, you know?
I think that they will be charged because of the pressure. I do think that. And Lindsay, I'd love your take on this, to be honest. I think they'll be charged. Convicting cops is very difficult. But I always say, when you say prosecute killer cops, this is why. At some point, there needs to be made an example of, and the peak needs to tip. If this is it, because it's so public, everyone's writing it on their shoes, you see coaches with it, perhaps this is the one that tips the storyline. Lindsay, do you have hope that this is the one, or do you still worry?
For sure, I always hope that, especially when it comes down to a black woman, since in those instances we receive even less justice than black men when we're asking for their killers to go to prison, especially when they're police officers. But I do know that if you implicate that all these officers and say that the laws were wrong, the no-knock warrant was wrong, and say these are all criminal charges, then you're basically indicting the entire city. And so I know you said it's hard to charge a cop. Well, it's hard to take down the entire establishment. And so I think it's going to be a long fight. But as you can see, people are not letting up. And I think just saying Breonna Taylor's name, covering it on the show, and keeping it relevant is important, because that public pressure we've seen has changed things in the past.
Amen. I also just want to say there's a new law in Colorado, at least, in which immunity for cops is being changed. And certain cities are altering that, and states are altering that. And I think that will really help, because they do have a ton of immunity of certain things. So,
and I think that's what, correct me if I'm wrong, Lindsay, but that's what the movement is all about, right? Changing the system.
Reforming
and putting
the
a
system.
different system in place.
Linz, go ahead.
Right, and I hope that we can make change ahead of time. You know, like, nobody wants to lose another black life just to change the law. So Breonna's life was lost when she actually was a public servant. She was an EMT for years, somebody who was a stand-up citizen. And so we had to lose that life to fight so hard for this. So we're hoping that with everything that happened this year, unfortunately, we lost so many people already, but can they make changes without us having to take to the streets and lose another life? That's the biggest thing.
She was a first responder. She was going to be a nurse, and we love our nurses. Wow, great conversation, guys. Let us know what you think. Facebook and YouTube. We are learning new details about Freedom, Georgia. 19 families, black families, combined their resources to purchase 97 acres of land in Georgia. They're hoping to start their own town. It's called Freedom, with a vision to create a safe space for their families. Now TMZ is reporting that several production companies are interested in creating a reality show to help tell their story. This feels like is Jews coming together to find Israel, and there's a lot of finding a hometown, a safe space. But I got to go to Jeff for the reality show aspect of this. Is this a winner of a show, or is this...
You never know with these reality shows.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mother literally thinks they could have a reality show, right?
True.
But it seems like the producers in this case are going after them, which kind of turns the tables a little bit. So it's interesting. I'm telling you,
Did
everyone...
you watch?
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I want to see, now my wheels are spinning. Like, so I want to know, I have so many questions. Do they have to abide by their own laws? Do they have to abide by the laws of the land of California? Do they get to kind of do their own, or Georgia, I'm sorry. Do they kind of get to do their own thing? Like, what's going to happen on that ranch? And sometimes, listen, this is the downside of it. When you get people removed from society a little bit in their own little community, it gets a little weird.
It gets a little weird. It can go a little crazy. That's what happened to you on Big Brother, I think, after 40 days. Lindsay, would you watch this? I think I'd be. What a fascinating sort of sociological experiment to sort of watch, right?
Right, I love that, and I also love the idea of showing on television black ownership, because I think a lot of times a lot of people weren't taught that, and so, you know, somebody like myself who just started a company last year, it's really important to own things, and not something that we've seen our parents do a lot historically. And so to watch this show in an uplifting way, hopefully they'll make a community that is flourishing like Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I will be tuned in if a production company buys that show.
But what if it flourishes, Lindsay, and they're having a great time and their life's awesome, and then some weirdos come and are like, "Can I live here too?"
That's you. You're gonna walk in like, oh.
Well, that would obviously be the plot twist. That's the time to watch.
That is the plot twist.
Centaurian there's the plot twist.
Hey guys! By the way, mazel and congratulations on Lindsay Granger Productions. That's a huge deal, and we should support and applaud you. So mazel tov on that. Lindsay, owner.
Thank you.
Production owner. Stick around. Coming up on DBL as wildfires ravage the western part of the country. Our medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley, is here to tell us what we need to know about the smoke. We need to know this, guys. Plus, it's the world's toughest race where only the strong survive. Meet a woman who's putting it all on the line. And as we kick off our 4th year, yeah, we're bragging. This week we're doing it a little differently. Most of our coworkers are working from home during the pandemic. We'll be right back. Hi. Welcome back to DBL. There are a lot of headlines and opinions on the wildfires out west, but we're all about the facts, plain and simple. So Dr. Payal Kohli joins us live. Doctor, you normally dedicate this segment to COVID-19, but today we want to talk about the fires and the smoke that is out of control. I think Portland, Oregon had the worst air on record in history. It was so bad. As far as 35 people have died and more than 4.6 million acres have burned, and smoke has traveled across the country all the way to New York. This map shows how light, medium, and heavy smoke is stretching across the country and the Northeast, and air quality is now a huge concern. So, Dr. Kohli, with all this smoke, what does that mean for air quality?
So, Tori, air quality is really mostly determined by 2 factors, the ozone and the particulate matter. And when you have wildfire smoke, that particulate matter component really goes up. And the way we assess the air quality is with a metric called the air quality index. And it's actually pretty easy to remember. So green means good. It's just like a traffic light. Yellow means it's moderately bad. Red means it's bad for everybody. You shouldn't really be going outside a lot. And maroon means it's hazardous. So just like we're checking the weather in the morning, we all need to now get into the habit of checking the air quality index as well before we leave our house.
That's crazy.
All right, Doc, based on the type of smoke, how do we know what we should and shouldn't be doing outside?
Oh, that's a great question, Jeff. So really you want to think about the air quality index. You want to think about whether you're in a sensitive group or not. That's really the elderly or those who have chronic lung disease, kids, or pregnant women. And then you want to think about how long you're spending outside and what you're doing. So as an example, if the air quality index is yellow, you can probably go have a meal outside as long as you're not spending too long and taking frequent breaks. On the other hand, if it's red, I would strongly advise against exercising outside, because when you're exercising, you're breathing harder and faster, so you're actually taking in more of that particulate matter.
Oh my God. They say anything above 500 like hasn't been recorded, and Portland was like 570 the other day. It's awful. People have said that climate change may be contributing to the wildfires. Is that true in your opinion?
I think it really is true, Tori. And studies have actually shown us that climate change has doubled the number of wildfires that we've had from 1984 to 2015. So I have to say, if you didn't think climate change was real before, wake up and smell the smoke, because America is literally burning.
Wow. That's incredible. I think Gavin Newsom of California was standing in all of that smoke and fire and said, if you still think climate change isn't real, it's no longer debatable because I can't breathe. Like, he was outside saying that, and I thought that was really profound. Thank you so much, Doc. You'll be back tomorrow. If you have a question about coronavirus you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to DBL, the world's toughest race. Eco Challenge Fiji isn't for everybody, obviously. And in Amazon's Prime new 10-part series, teams from around the world race 24 hours around the clock for several days straight, trekking through jungles, oceans, and mountains, battling the elements and their drive to finish the race alive. And one 40-year-old mom has decided to give that a go for the first time. I spoke to Sonia Wick earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
671 kilometers. Oh my God. And it is so hard. Brutal.
Sonia Wick, thank you so much for joining us here on DBL. Now, you trekked more than 400 miles in 10 days through ocean, jungle, mountains. It seems absolutely grueling. What made you want to do the world's toughest race?
Ooh, well, I had watched Eco Challenge when I was a young girl, and when they put out this version of the race, they said that it was the race that eats Iron Man for breakfast. And that's my background, is as an Ironman athlete, and so I just felt called out.
Now, Sonia, in the second episode, we see you experience a panic attack, is what I think I would call it.
It's so hard.
Have you ever experienced anything like that before?
Yeah, I have a history of panic attacks, debilitating panic attacks, and in episode 2, I got really hot and really behind on my hydration and my nutrition, being responsible for the navigation of the team and also the steering of our boat. I neglected my self-care and I got really behind. So as we pulled into that checkpoint, I was really low and I had to figure out where we were going, and I wasn't really functioning, and I had kind of just less a panic attack and more just kind of a total meltdown. I don't know.
That brings me to my next question. I was on Amazing Race, so I know the feeling of the adrenaline. Trust me, nothing like World's Toughest Race at all. How do you put yourself together mentally after something like that happens? Because that's part of the challenge, being there physically as well as mentally.
It's a team race, so the mental, the teamwork aspect of it is really important. And when you get down, you know, luckily we had James Lawrence on our team who's great with mindset, and he reminded me over and over and over again that you have to change your thoughts. You have to be aware of the negative thoughts that you're having, and you have to find ways to transform those into maybe not positive thoughts, but at least neutral thoughts that aren't going to drag you down.
How did you take what you've learned from your experience in World's Toughest Race into your real world experiences right now?
Oh, that's such a great question. I think one thing I learned in the race is that you have to embrace what is right now in the moment and work on what you can control in this moment. If you're pushing your bike through shin-deep mud, it doesn't matter the navigational mistake that you made 10 hours ago. It doesn't matter the whitewater rafting section that you're scared to death about that's coming up. All that matters right now is the mud and how you process and conceptualize the mud. And I think that's really the lesson that I've been able to take through these darker, harder times, is that you have to work the day you're in.
I know when I'm out here, there's no reason not to believe that I am capable.
I love it. I love it. Sonia, thank you so much for joining Daily Blast Live today. I love hearing your experiences.
Thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
If you guys want to see Sonia in action, catch the World's Toughest Race Eco Challenge Fiji on Amazon Prime. Thanks, Sonia. We'll be right back, everybody.
Welcome back to DBL. Did you know September is one of the best months to score big deals on items for the home? It's all part of today's Bang for Your Buck, presented by The Hartford. First, patio furniture. Most stores reduce prices by as much as 50% to make space for new fall inventory. Second, take it to the mattresses. Stores are typically slashing as much as $600 off the price tag. That was a Godfather quote. Lastly, washer and dryers. You can buy them for as much as 30% off during the month of September. When it comes to your money, the Hartford Financial is here to help. Whether it's home, life, or business insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call 1-800-864-6085 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. Real quick, I want to get to some comments because we're getting them in. To clear up something very quickly, Mike from Facebook says, justice for Breonna Taylor, ... The family decided to settle. They also, we just heard, got $12 million in the settlement. I want to be super clear about this. This is the civil case. This is only allowed to get money or not. You don't get criminal charges. That is a separate case like the O.J. Simpson. Jeff Goldman, can you explain that a little bit?
Well, I mean, everyone kind of knows the O.J. Simpson, even if you don't know the law like me, obviously, right? He was convicted of he was let go of the crime, right? He wasn't convicted, but he still owes to this day the Goldman family a lot of money. That's where the civil suit is.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter which order it comes in.
Correct.
Breonna Taylor settled civilly. They will still be criminally charged in court.
Correct. We're waiting on the grand jury.
Yes.
You're absolutely right to that. Lindsay, I also wanted to get to your take on the hero deputy and the LeBron James comment. Sandra from Facebook says, damn right, that's his damn money, LeBron James. What do you feel about the cop reaching out to LeBron and the whole situation?
Yeah, I think if LeBron, like Jeff said, if LeBron wants to contribute, he should. I think we're all happy, and LeBron is probably one of those people that I would just speak for and say that he's happy that these cops were not harmed. There's no way in his statement for standing up for Black lives is that he wants cops to be harmed in any way. And so if he is able to do that and wants to, he can. But I think the head of a police department asking him to do that as if that needs to be reciprocity for what he's doing for Black lives is actually just kind of splitting apart the movement and taking apart actually what he's trying to do and saying that Black people are being killed at a rapid rate, whereas cops that are good cops and innocent are not being killed at a rapid rate. So why are we comparing those two apples and oranges?
Yeah, I do wish he kind of had taken LeBron James's name out of it. I didn't really understand that point of view.
Well, I didn't like that. Yeah. I didn't like that point of view. To put somebody on the spot like that, like LeBron is doing what he's doing for his own cause, right? If he wants to reach out, like Lindsay said, I'm sure he has empathy for those police officers too, but let him do it on his own accord.
I completely agree. Good talk today. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye, Preppy.